Chapter 35 to 36. Goku woke up the next morning with two weights on each side of him. Opening his eyes, it returns himself to the surreal experience from the night before of debauchery, when he saw the two girls laying beside him. It was only this week when he lost his virginity, and now he has been doing it as much as he breathes. There needs some explaining to be done. Getting out of bed, without disturbing the two girls, he went to the kitchen to grab a bite to eat after doing a quick rinse in the bathroom. He made breakfast and waited on the couch for the girls to come down. Eventually, the two girls come down all freshened up and see Goku on the couch watching TV waiting for them. "Hey girls, we need to talk about last night." Goku turned off the TV and looked at them expectantly. Both of them looked at each other and sat next to Goku to explain to him from the beginning. "Do you remember when we found out that you were the last of your race from the Scion book?" Bulma gently explained. She was better at explaining the situation, so she took the lead. Yeah, you read that book a dozen more times than me." Goku had a faint foreboding at what they were going to say to him. He couldn't tell if he liked it or not. "So we decided to both become your lovers after we found out the other had feelings for you. That way it is a win-win for everybody. We love you, and you are able to revive your race. Besides, having sex with Chi-Chi is super fun." She put her arm around Chi-Chi and brought her close to her breasts. She blushed insanely hard with the memories from last night and pushed Bulma off of her to regain her breath. But how? This isn't something that is normal? Won't people disagree and ostracize us?" "Wait a minute, Dash." Goku then remembered the thing that Poir said to him at the tourney grounds. How it sounded so weird, but said like it was normal. "You don't mean? Looks like you figured it out." "Yes, we used the wish for this to happen." "What? You wasted a wish just for this?" "It wasn't wasted. This is something that is extremely important to us. We thought and talked about it forever." Bulma was ready for the backlash that Goku was going to unleash on her when he found out. This was the reason why they agreed to do it, without him knowing, and Goku knew that. Goku sat back down from standing abruptly and started to really think about the situation. He rubbed the bridge of his nose and posed Bulma a question. What exactly did you wish for? He needed to know what he was dealing with and the limitation of the wish. Imagine explaining the others when a shadow dragon of this wish pops up. "We wished for polygamy to be normal when it comes to you and only you. That way, people will see us as a normal thing, while the act of polygamy is still unnatural to others." "Wait, so you wished for everyone who sees polygamy as a problem, not a problem when regards to me?" Goku was now realizing the scope of the situation. It technically doesn't span the entire universe, but affects it all the same. Any being who interacts with him that is on a lower level than a reality-bending dragon god will see polygamy as normal. "Yeah, I mean it's not like you will be adding girls like a harem. Don't be so full of yourself, you are all for us. Not that we don't mind. Even with Chi-Chi around, we still can't sedate your hunger for sex. Speaking of which, you owe me for doing this behind my back. I expect it to be good." "Oh, it will." Chi-Chi already started to unbutton his shorts and Bulma came to help. 6 months. "You know, you didn't have to marry us so fast." Bulma complained at the fast wedding they were putting up. Chi-Chi and Bulma were together planning the wedding in a week. Of course, the wedding was grand much to the protest of Chi-Chi and Goku, but Bulma said she wouldn't have it any other way. "Say that to the babies in your bellies. Besides, if I waited any longer, Old Man Ox King would chop my head off." Goku was helping move stuff that was too heavy for others to save some time. All invitations were already sent out to their friends, so everything was set. "Yeah, no kidding, you horn dog. What did you think was going to happen with us doing it every day? I'm just surprised that the babies are 4 months old. I felt like I was pregnant the first day we had sex." Chi-Chi enjoyed every second of it, but sometimes it's too much. Being bloated all the time isn't that great. Although they tried to contain the privacy of the wedding as much as they can, the news goes out, and it became an internet sensation within minutes. As expected from the heiress of Capsule Corp and the recently popular strongest man on Earth. Videos of Goku from the tournament and his various fights displayed him at all his glory, making him visible to the public eye. Goku had to say that it was incredibly weird that the internet and news stations were covering his wedding of him marrying 2 people. Basically, everyone on Earth has been exposed, and now thinks it is normal for him to be in a polyamorous marriage. The wedding was nice and sweet. The venue was too big for the number of people invited, and too elegant for literally anyone there. News outlets and fanatics were desperately trying to get a scoop on the situation before, but the upgraded security system stopped them. Dr. Briefs calls it Build Operation Blockade, BOB for short. Taking turns, they each said their vows to Goku while Goku did the same to them. He sealed it with a kiss, and they were officially all hitched. "You are one lucky guy, Goku. Having 2 beautiful women like that. I probably won't ever have anything close." Krillin was talking to Goku at the after party. The best man had a slumped shoulder and low self-esteem due to his height. "Hey, chin up man. Think about it. You are like the 2nd or 3rd strongest human ever. Better than everyone on this planet. You worked hard, so don't think that you are useless, man. Yeah, you are right. They should be lucky to date me. Thanks, Goku. Maybe you can be the best man at my wedding if I have one. Haha. Krillin's spirits got lifted from Goku's pep talk and clanked their glass together in a toast. I mean, look at Yamcha. If he's hitting a girl like Ran Fan, then surely you can do better. They both looked in the direction of Yamcha and Ran Fan. Ran Fan seemed like she asked Yamcha to do something but refused. She immediately yelled at him, echoing it across the venue. He scurried along to go get her the drink that she wanted and came back at record speeds to give it to her. I don't really think that he is hitting that. Yeah, that looks like the world has not given Yamcha any breaks. They both shook their heads in amusement. What can you expect from him? That's my pupil right there. Marrying 2 hot chicks, I taught him. They told me that his D*CK is nearly as big as mine. Drunk Rashi had 2 blonde reporters in his arms. He was continuously groping them as they asked him questions. He was leading them to the back room and disappeared from sight. The 2 could still hear him from where they were standing. Since when have you known the 2? You would like to touch it? Well, why didn't you say so? He then grabbed her hand and stuck it in his pants so deep that she completely missed the rod and touched the balls. How about you 2? Please go stop him. On it. Fast forward. Goku was meditating in the gravity chamber. He felt that he was about to make a breakthrough any second. It was like on the tip of his tongue. Goku honey, come over here and watch over the baby for me. I need to finish my research. Bulma's voice reverberated throughout the chamber. Bulma's parents moved in with Ox King to give the young married couple the house to have their privacy in. He still works and contacts Bulma with projects. They are only a couple of minutes away from each other. Goku stood up to leave and turned off the ADX gravity before taking a shower. The girls were usually the ones who looked after the babies. Mostly Chi-Chi, while the other 2 would train or work. They all spent the time with their children, making sure to be good parents. Exiting out of the shower with only pants, he went to the kitchen where Chi-Chi was cooking dinner with only an apron. He took a quick grab and walked past her and next to the dual crib to inspect the babies. One was a boy with short black hair and beady black eyes. Next to him was a girl with short blue hair and subsequent blue eyes to match her mom. They were Gohan and Bra respectively. Goku's life has settled in a routine, and a quite comfortable one at that. Wake up fully refreshed from the king-sized bed to a long workout session in the morning. Going into the kitchen to see Chi-Chi make breakfast for them and spend time with them and the babies in the afternoon. Next was lunch, then a more serious training session. After that, he would relax, eat dinner, and frolic in bed. Of course, he would get a quick shag or 2 in between away from the babies. He couldn't resist when they were tempting him so much. At least that is what he blamed and not his Saiyan stamina. The 2, knowing how much Goku did it with no restraint, created a piece of tech that made Goku sterile when on. So whenever they were ready for another baby, they would turn it off and go ham. Bulma spent a lot of time on it, making sure that it didn't interfere with the taste, and even made it have a hint of whatever she wanted flavor-wise. Neat. Gohan and Bulla were raised basically as twins, even though their looks were more inclined with their mothers. Even growing up, Bulla was more forceful and assertive, while Gohan was more laid-back and observant. Definitely from their mother's side. It's only 2 years until Raditz arrives, and he has already achieved a maximum of 120 GS. However, there is a limit to how much a Scient's body can go through by just continuous reps in gravity-intense situation. Not everything is about the body. With all the years of research on Goku's spaceship, they were about to create an ultra-fast spaceship that has been seeing positive results in its testing. With this, they could set a foothold in the environment of space and explore its endless possibilities. Goku normally trains under 80-100 GS, as default as he can still feel growth, and only goes higher if he wants to push himself. Chi-Chi was the model housewife looking after the kids and cooking meals. Bulma was the designated breadwinner, except she already has a lot of dough to work with. So she only worked when she found it fun to research something, and spent the rest of the time with her family. Goku trained a lot in the morning and noon, but really enjoyed spending time with the girls, or play with the kids when the girls needed a break. Even if his ginormous endurance, dealing with kids were still a pain in the neck. Although they never trained, they were still stronger than the average person, making Chi-Chi and Bulma break a sweat whenever they tried to deal with them. Especially Bulla, as she threw tantrums while Gohan just stood in the sideline and benefited from it. They would sometimes give in or distract her with food, and Gohan would join in and reap some of the benefits without doing anything. The quiet ones are always the scariest. The thing that really threw the girls off their game was the use of the tails from the infants. With the little appendage sticking out of there, but they were able to use it to climb easier, grab things better, and really just outwit them when they didn't expect it. The 2 had a room next to their parents, but like all good parents, they created high-tech soundproof walls to shield their ears every night. He hasn't really seen the others at all with them doing their own things. They only came over to get updated versions of their gravity belts and give and receive updates about life. Goku's fame in this world is on another level compared to the alternative. His internet fame transitioned to ones in par with celebrities after his third appearance in the World Martial Arts Tournament, and his relationship with one of the most powerful women has been revealed. Memes and articles have circulated about him continuously, which made the situation even more surreal. Living a life of comfort like this was something he always dreams of, but he knew that he could not stop, at least for the foreseeable future, about getting stronger. 2 years later. For the last time, Gohan, we were just playing around in the closet eating ice cream. Your Aunt Bulma really enjoys it, so I have to give it to her daily. Now on to the task at hand. The most fun way to fish is to have your tail in the water. Goku and the 2 kids were out in the forest by a lake fishing. Having some dad time and teach them the Saiyan way to fish was really the only good way to fish. So like this. Bulma dipped her tiny tail in the water, bobbing it back and forth like her dad beside her. Gohan quickly copied Bulma's movement, completely forgetting his suspicion in the conversation before. Man, Bulma really needs to create something to counter that. Alright, I will stand back and watch. When you see the fish about to bite, pull your tail back and let me do the rest. They had a lot of fun in the lake, catching 2 big fish, after Goku quickly chopped at them when they came back. He called Nimbus and let the 2 kids ride as he flew side by side. By the time they got the house, the sun was already going down. Chi-Chi expertly whipped up an excellent fried fish dish and started to read the kids a bedtime story to have them sleep. Goku went to the back and looked up in the starry sky, wondering if he could see something special. What's the matter? His wife came behind him dressed for bed, as in not dressed at all, and asked him with a look of concern. It wasn't every day that he had a serious look on his face, like their world is going to be turned upside down. It's nothing really, we should go to bed. Tomorrow was the day Raditz lands on Earth, at least if his memory serves him correct. His evil blood brother. Wonder how he will react to how much stronger he is than him. The kids should be asleep by now, and I think you need all the time you can get if you want to get through a night of Chi-Chi's fetishes. That lady is so sweet on the outside, but can really surprise you with how out there she is in the bedroom. A quick peck on the lips, and they headed to the bedroom to find Chi-Chi shrunken and tied to a dildo standing erect on the bed. What the how did she? Works for me. Goku woke up with a yawn and stretched his huge arms. He didn't get much sleep last night, but they needed to wake up early to meet up with the gang at the Turtle Island. They decided that they need to meet every year and more because of how long the separation has been. This was the final nail in the coffin in confirming that Raditz was coming today. He woke up the sleeping beauties and went off to take a shower. They joined him, and after their long shower, Goku got the kids in the shower while the girls did their makeup. After everyone was ready, they headed off in their helicopter. As they were flying to the secluded island, a ship crashed in the middle of nowhere next to a running vehicle. The owner of the vehicle was startled from the incoming foreign object and drove straight to it like any other sane human being. Arriving at the crater that the impact caused, the farmer got the shotgun from his truck and loaded it with bullets. This alien is going to get a face full of bullets from my trusty shotgun. America. Wait, why did I say that? What is America? What are these words coming from my mouth? It's the aliens doing. Nothing can survive my double barrel. A humanoid figure walked out of the pod that crashed into the ground and observed his surrounding. He leaped out the hole with his hair flowing majestically with him. He saw the short human and device in his hand. Stay back, alien, or I will mow you down like in Halo. Raditz wasn't listening to him, but instead started to talk to himself. What is Kakarot doing? Why hasn't genocide occurred yet? Speaking like a Nazi, he touched the scouter on his ear and scrolled through the text that displayed it to him. Is this alien crazy or something? Does he not see that loom of death that I have him in right now? His life is literally one trigger away, one click. Raditz finally noticed the guy, making him jump back a little. Raditz spat at the man, penetrating his stomach all the way through. He then started to slowly fly up in the sky and follow the power level that was displayed on his screen. My trusty shotgun, I failed you. Follow me to heaven, my love. The family of 5 finally arrived at the turtle house in a timely fashion and milled out of the ship. Krillin, Oolong, Yamcha, Puar, and Rashi came out of the house to meet up with them and were surprised when they were bulldozed by a small tank. Bulla, get back here. You don't just do that to everyone you see. Bulla was standing on top of a pile of fallen warriors like a queen and pouted when her mom called her down. Looks like the light training that Goku has put the both of them through has seen some significant improvements. Fine, mommy, you are so boring. She ran up to her mother's side next to Gohan, who just started to apologize to the men that were getting up. She is your daughter, Goku? She packs quite the punch. Yamcha really felt that in his ribs when he crashed into the floor. He was feeling extremely embarrassed because he was beaten up by a girl, but constellated himself by repeating in his head that it was Goku's child. Yeah, she is really growing fast. She might even be stronger than you. Everyone laughed at Goku's joke. Yamcha laughed so hard that tears started to stream from his face like an ocean. Anyways, I would like to introduce you to my children. The feisty one you saw was Bulla Briefson, and she is Bulma and my daughter. Say hi, Bulla. Goku gently patted her shoulder to give her the cue to talk. She gave out a little cute smile and waved to her audience, but they saw differently. That was definitely the smile of the devil. This is Son Gohan. He is a little shy, but together they make two peas in a pod. They both turned for this year. Gohan waved at the group after getting a nudge from Bulla. Bulma decided to hyphenate their last names together, while Chi-Chi just wanted to take the full last name of Goku. This way, it would be easier to identify for others whose child is who. So you have been training them martial arts, Goku? Aren't they a little too young for that kind of stuff? Master Roshi was concerned. Goku's children are not, for years of age could leave a strain in their adult bodies if they went through the rigorous martial arts already. Oh no, some light exercises to strengthen their bodies. Besides, they are hybrids, so they grow fast and are much stronger than you think. Bulma and Chi-Chi picked up their child and started to coddle them in love. Bulla was trying to get out of it, but even with her hybrid powers, she couldn't escape her mother's love. Gohan just sighed and took it. Everyone's sweat dropped at such an extremely different personality by two different babies by the same person. Really shows how much the mothers play a role in their behaviors. Goku felt something in the back of his spine, a high power that was fast approaching him. He turned to look in its direction, completely missing the ongoing conversation that was happening. Dad? What's wrong? Gohan was the first to notice that his dad stopped talking, and everyone looked at Goku. Someone is coming, someone with a high battle power. He is right there. Do you see him? Looking at the sky, they all saw an incoming human flying straight toward them with killer intent.